Okay, so now on to the outside corners, and it's the same technique, same process. We did B5, so now we're on B6, which is up here. So we need to fold on this line. So I'm going to tear away the paper off those stitches from the previous pieces. Put my cardboard down. Fold right there on the line. So this add a quarter ruler has a little lip, and it's catching the cardboard on this side of it. And so it's real quick and easy to find that 1/4 inch mark. Trim. Okay, so now we're going into the cream fabrics. Those are upside down. And again, because these are symmetrical, you basically just have to center it and you'll be a-okay. Put your straight line on the on this trim line. Pin it. We're going to flip it over and sew down that line. And again, I like to start outside of the sew line by at least 1/4 inch. So this extra line, this extra paper, is the seam allowance that you'll need in order to sew your block to another block or to the border. Okay, take my pen out. Just going to finger press this. So you want to be careful with these because this is the bias of the fabric and it is stretchy, so you don't want to stretch it out of shape, pull it out of shape. Just press down. Don't iron your fabrics. You just want to press down, gently move it, press down. A little water. So like this section right here, there are a lot of layers right there. So we want to get that really nice and flat. That's looking good. All right, now the next one is B7 on the other side here. I'm going to tear my papers away from the extra stitches. Fold the paper over. Trim the 1/4 inch. Close my rotary cutter. Every time you put it down, close it up. Okay, same as this corner. These are symmetrical, so just going to center that. Flip it over and stitch that along that line. We'll do a finger press. A little water. And you can see where the points are coming together because of the paper piecing technique. You're able to get really good points, very tiny pieces on some patterns. Okay, number 8 is over here. I'm going to, now I've got a little bit of stitching over here on the ends too. So gently pull it apart. It's okay if the paper separates, you just don't want to have a big tear in it. Just gently pull the paper away from the previous stitching. And if you don't want to be pulling the paper apart like that, then do a back stitch and don't sew into your seam allowance. I'm just going to fold those little corners over, not a big deal if you don't. They'll just get trimmed off. But I'm going to fold them over. Make sure everything's laying flat. Trim that. Okay. Again, right sides together. Line those up. Get it evenly left to right. Flip it over and sew along that line. Little finger press. I like to get a lot of water right there where that seam is. Right sides together, center it and flip it over and sew that last line. And there is our finished block once I get it pressed. There we go. There's our finished block. That's the center. Next we'll start cutting the pieces for our borders and our cornerstone squares. Eventually we'll trim this and then we'll sew it to the borders and we'll tear away the paper. But as you can see, this will tear away real easily. Just tear it out. This one here, you know, these center ones, I don't really need those in there, but it helps to prevent the block from stretching and getting out of shape. So I leave my papers in there until I'm either ready to sew other sections to it or I have it all sewn together. Next up, we'll go and get all our pieces ready for the borders and the corners.